I am hours away from engaging in group bedroom activities and losing my V card. My roommate, who I've been sharing an apartment with for the past 6 months, approached me a few weeks ago to discuss the possibility of hosting a group bedroom party. I can imagine most people in my situation being surprised or disturbed or whatever if their roommate asked for permission to allow random people to sleep together in their personal space. I was not too surprised or disturbed because 6 months has been more than enough time for me to realize that my roommate is an extremely intimate person and she's not shy about showing it. I have my V card. My roommate is aware of that, and even though from time to time she teases me about it, she's never made me feel bad and always seemed proud of me for being so chilled about it. My roommate asked if it was okay if the event could happen at our apartment. She said 7 people were expected to participate, all friends, and she would be the 8th. She answered all of my questions regarding the logistics and promised to leave the place spotless when it was over. To be honest, I didn't really care as long as no one did anything in my room or touched my gaming console. My roommate was over the moon when I said yes. I arranged to sleep at my mom's house on the night of the event to avoid any awkwardness, which made my roommate feel somewhat guilty for kicking me out, but I encouraged her to focus on the deed because I'll be focusing on my mom's good cooking. A few days after that conversation, my roommate asked if I was interested in taking part. I said if this was about me staying at my mom's house for one night, she really shouldn't feel bad. My roommate said it's not only about that, but also about hospitality. She said the group agreed that I was more than welcome to join if I wanted. I laughed and said, thanks but no thanks. My roommate advised me to think about it and said I should keep in mind that a V-card guy would be very cool for the group and I would most likely receive special treatment. She also added that before I made a final decision, I should forget what I've seen in movies and therefore should not be expecting everyone to have perfect bodies. I said I would think about it. The event is happening tonight. I eventually agreed to participate. It wasn't a quick decision. I did have time. It's been weeks of talking. Update, I am hours away from engaging in group bedroom activities and losing my V card. By the time I've added this update, the event would have been over for less than 2 hours. I helped my roommate set up the space in the apartment we were all going to use for the intimacy. My roommate was running me through the process one-on-one for the final time and once again made sure I understood that I should never feel pressured to perform anything or to make anyone feel good regardless of prior agreements. The group arrived sometime afterwards. All of us socialized at first. I learned a lot about the group. Everyone was friendly and interested to know how I was feeling. I realized very quickly that I was attracted to one of the girls in the group more than the others, but none of them were bad looking. Once the socializing was out of the way, my roommate explained what the rules and the safe words were before formally introducing me to the group and reminding everyone that I skipped my mom's cooking to be there, so I needed to be treated with extra care and appreciation. So much was discussed before anything intimate happened. Most of it was information everyone already knew based on previous discussions. But some of it was new to me, like the conversational intimacy option, which basically meant you could have an intimate conversation with one or more people who had no desire to partake yet, but don't mind saying filthy things to one another to get them in the mood. Boundaries were discussed. Questions were answered. Challenges in the past were addressed. It was a proper meeting. My legs were shaking when that meeting eventually came to an end. My roommate gave everyone the green light to proceed and she wasted no time taking me under wing. My roommate and I were sitting on the couch while the others were beginning to touch and kiss one another. She was holding my hand and telling me how nice I smelled. I said, thank you, and returned the compliment. We continued complimenting each other until we were both comfortable enough to kiss. I can't tell you how long we kissed, but when my roommate and I were no longer locking lips, I noticed some of the other people were wearing a lot less. This might sound weird, but seeing unclothed bodies on full display like that became uncomfortable and overwhelming. I told my roommate how I was feeling and she asked me to follow her to the balcony to get some fresh air and for a change of scenery. During my time on the balcony, the girl who I was most attracted to in the group, before I kissed my roommate at least, decided to join my roommate and I on the balcony and find out how I was doing. Her hair was shorter than mine, but it was hot. The 3 of us talked for a few minutes before I said I was willing to continue. Short-haired girl gave noggin to me when I finally managed to get a stiffy. I never reached the finish line. My nerves got the best of me. I apologized to the group and said I would feel much better if I could go to my room because I'm struggling to relax. I made it clear to all of them that they did nothing wrong, but it just wasn't for me, at least not for now. Everyone was really understanding and wished me good night. I've been in my room ever since. The apartment is quiet now. I have no idea how many people have gone home and how many are sleeping over, but I'm sure I'll find out in the morning. Update 2. I am hours away from engaging in group bedroom activities and losing my V card. I got a girlfriend. A couple of nights ago my girlfriend was supposed to meet my friends. I've been delaying the process for months because I knew I had to have an uncomfortable conversation first. I met my friends at the group bedroom event. My roommate at the time asked for my permission to host it at our flat. I said yes, as long as my room and my belongings were off limits and the flat was cleaned properly afterwards. My plan was to spend the night at my mom's house and be out of everyone's way during the event, but my roommate encouraged me to stay and participate. I had a V card back then. The thought of sleeping with one person was overwhelming enough, let alone a group of people. However, my roommate eventually convinced me to take part. I was added to a group chat with all the people who were going to be involved in the event. All of them made me feel really comfortable. That being said, when the event finally happened, I was unable to sleep with anyone. My anxiety won. Everyone was understanding though. Life went on. My roommate became my ex-roommate after a few months, but we never stopped being friends. The connections I made with the people at the event also developed into friendships. We're still friends now. My girlfriend didn't know my history with them until earlier this week when I finally had the courage to explain the story. She was shocked and disturbed and asked if I lied to her about being a V-card when we met. I said no. She struggled to believe that a V-card guy would walk away from that with his V-card still intact. She made it clear that she was no longer interested in meeting my friends. She said she didn't know how she could be in a relationship with someone who was friends with people who shared him. I asked my girlfriend if she was breaking up with me and she said she was going to need some time to decide what to do. Last night she decided. Our relationship is over. Update 3, I am hours away from engaging in group bedroom activities and losing my V-card. My mom and dad invited me to have dinner at their house a few nights ago. I was planning to inform them about my breakup during dinner, but I realized it was too late when I showed up at the house. My parents were already informed. The dinner invitation was a smokescreen to confront me about the details. My ex apparently broke the news to my mom and dad soon after our relationship came to an end. My parents knew about the group bedroom event, the friends I made at the event, and why my girlfriend no longer wanted anything to do with me. It was an ambush, or an intervention, I don't know, but it was awkward. My mom wanted me to make her believe that my ex lied and that I never participated in group bedroom fun. I confirmed what my ex-girlfriend said was true. My mom looked disturbed and asked if I got tested. I assured her that I was clean and that it's almost been a year since the event. My dad looked equally disturbed and asked if I was really friends with people who openly shared their bodies like that. I said yes and described them as good friends. I even told my dad that one of my friends who openly shared her body also openly shared her homemade lasagna that my dad enjoyed eating when he was sick. I asked my mom if she remembered the DJ with the tattoos that stepped in at the last minute at my sister's wedding because the original DJ dropped out. My mom said yes. I asked my mom if she remembered the DJ playing some of her favorite golden oldies like Flashdance, What a Feeling and Stand By Me. My mom said yes. I asked my mom if she could guess how it came to be that I knew that DJ. My mom said oh. I told my parents not to worry about me and advised them to avoid communicating with my ex because whatever was happening between us, was between us. Towards the end of the dinner, my mom and dad knew a lot more about my event friends and seemed less uncomfortable. I think once the shock of me being involved in an event fades away, my parents might be keen to meet my friends one day. Hopefully the day never comes though lol.